You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show.
Beautiful. I love the song, and you don't really need an excuse to listen to this. We'll get into why we're playing this song in a second, but welcome to the AfterBuzz for NXT for the week of July 31st. I am your host, the Internet Soapbox Mark, joined always by my friend and co-commentator, The Hobo.
Oh!
He's in a macho mood.
Drop an elbow. Climb something first.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty fresh.
All right.
So we were having a little bit of conversation with the chat earlier. You can always check out the live chat on AfterBuzzTV.com, and we check it every now and again. And tonight I'll have it open in case anybody says anything wonderful.
Something interesting. Be interesting, people.
They usually are. But as you can see, Kathy Kelly's not joining us again tonight.
She's busy.
She's ridiculously busy.
She's a goddess.
She is.
Goddesses are busy. They've got dominion over all the land and sea and creatures.
The Christers.
The creatures.
We had a real hot open tonight to the show.
I was a little surprised Breeze was starting off the show. That's not generally where you see him.
I mean, this is the beginning of the next sequence of tapings.
Right.
So we started off hot with, well, I mean, Tyler Breeze.
So hot. So hot.
Didn't know if he was coming out for a match because he usually dresses in his attire anyway, against the oft-seen Angelo Dawkins.
Dawkins.
And we saw a wonderful amateur style back takedown to the ground, which just pissed off Tyler.
He has some style to him. That Dawkins always has some sort of style. I like him for that.
It seems match to match, Dawkins is doing more, making more of a name for himself, and making himself stand out as much as possible.
That's true. That's very true.
He showed a little bit more of just like, I'm here to do a job type of thing.
Trying to
tonight.
break away, and it's tough. It can be very difficult to break away from the pack, so to speak. You got to find little ways, and I think he's finding those ways by just executing maneuvers a little bit more to a unique style than the rest of everybody else.
He did seem to get on Tyler's bad side, though, because right away, that was essentially the last bit of good offense that he got.
Well, that happens when you're wrestling a lot of people. You show off, and then you get punched in the mouth for it.
Yeah, a lot of stomping, thrown out of the ring, thrown into the ring, just beat the crap out of, just punching his face like there was something wrong with it.
You gotta make sure that people know their place and know your place, especially if you're a #1 contender.
Very much so.
Me being a #1 contender, I can tell you, you gotta really push yourself if you're gonna be in that position. You the boss.
Yeah, no, you. I
You the
mean,
next in line.
you've been having a little bit of problems on that with championship wrestling,
Little bit.
which we can talk.
No, it's fine. I'm like on the giving side of it at this point. I'm kicking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's our crowd back from Legends House. Whole bunch of face punching and a beauty shot. And as he's for the win, as he's getting his selfie, notices that Dawkins is still in the ring, throws him out. You're in my shot, you uggo. It's real crazy. Well, that was annoying. He didn't even know that he had a match tonight. He just wanted to come out to show this. And we saw a clip from last week where he interfered with the Rusev match, and he was like, no, that's not what I came here to show. And he revealed that he submitted his music video for the documentary category of the Oscars.
Well, and to the crowd's adulation as they chanted, "Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you,
Tyler."
And then as he goes to show us the video for the third time that we would see since its premiere,
Yeah.
Adrian Neville comes out and really starts to like, when are we gonna see you in this ring get pinned by me? Really getting on his bad side, and it just starts off with a whole bunch of vinegar. To which Tyler Breeze responds, looking at his phone, "I just got a text message from the director of The Hobbit. You're needed back on set right away." Oh!
We're playing mind games tonight.
Well, turns out that Neville got a Snapchat from Tyler's mom, to which that alone made the crowd go, "Oh!" Then he said, "Turns out that Tyler isn't the only member of the Breeze family that likes to send selfies." Seriously. They get into a bit of a scuffle. Breeze ends up on the receiving end of most of it, rolls out of the ring, and starting off the night hot. It was a really good start.
Neville can really move in that suit. I was surprised.
He probably got it a couple sizes too big.
Maybe. Just a little bit enough to move around and throw some kicks.
Short sleeve shirt, it looked like, too, so he had a little bit more
He always
mobility.
likes them short sleeves. I think his arms are too big.
Yeah, for his form.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to those chants, don't worry. Sorry, looking at the chant, one of my favorite ones. Actually, we got several things to talk about at the end of the show, but we go backstage where Natty is being interviewed. I didn't recognize who the interviewer was. Does anybody in chat?
I think she was on. I thought I saw a clip of her on like Total Divas or something.
Was
She's
that
pretty? I like her hair.
Was that the other girl who was introduced on Total Divas? I don't know.
Watch
We don't
the
know.
show. They had a commercial for it during one of the breaks, and I went, "Is that the? That looks like. Is that the same?" I don't know.
Yeah, but nobody seems to really. Nobody really seems to introduce themselves. They just have the wrestlers say their name back to them as they interview them.
I saw WWE posted like a tweet today that said, "Meet Rich Brennan." Like, Rich Brennan's been on a lot. You guys are way behind. You need to catch up with yourselves.
Yeah. They talk about how Adam Rose is just back at NXT tonight. And she asked Natty about Rose. You know, he's fun.
Why would she ask Natty about
So
Rose?
we could get Tyson Kidd to come out and start another sort of lover's quarrel.
Like, she couldn't see Tyson Kidd. If you want to ask somebody about his opponent while he's standing there...
Well, no. The match wasn't made yet. Kidd issued an open challenge, and then Rose accepted right away.
Yeah.
But I figure it was the type of thing where they were there together, and Natty was like, "Oh, they want to interview me about something. You stay right there." And then as she started talking, that's when Ty's like, "Okay, no, wait."
Like the over-controlling husband that he probably is.
Exactly. Oh, it was JoJo.
Oh, was that
It was JoJo. JoJo
Okay.
is the other new person they introduced on Total Divas. Okay,
All right.
That's what I thought. I just didn't know her name. Thank you, chat. Much obliged. And thank you, Pumpkin Page, for letting me know you're a man. So moving on.
You the man, Pumpkin Page.
Moving on
you
from
the
there,
man.
a very weird cut-in where the commentators, Saxton, Phillips, and Young, are in headsets as opposed to at their desk.
And standing facing a camera.
They were facing,
Yeah.
the ring was behind them. It was
I think it was their desk. They were just standing, turned around in the opposite direction.
that would make sense.
Like, forget the action behind us. We're going to talk right to you.
They might be trying a sort of Monday Night Football, quote-unquote, real sports type of presentation, and I don't think it
Yeah,
fits
you
for
can
them.
stop that right off.
Very
man.
much so.
You don't need that.
Didn't sit well. But we did find out that there is going to be a tag title #1 contendership tournament that's going to start next week and will probably lead into the event on September 11th.
Yep.
But we don't, I mean, if it's anything like the Divas, that was 8. So it might be, it was 8 Divas.
Yeah.
So it might be 8 teams. That's a
Could
lot.
it? That's a lot of teams.
That's a lot of teams. But after tonight, we
saw one new team
2
debut.
new teams. Technically.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And we'll get there.
All right,
We'll get
yeah, I guess sure. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't, but yes, you're right. I've been drinking. If
with
you
Na-
follow me on Twitter
Coffee.
@TrueHobo, I've had a couple of beers.
That's him. We prepare for every show as professionally as possible. This ain't no Legends House.
Nope. I just have that vodka.
Yeah, you're right. And bubblegum soda.
That was good.
Hits you hard. Our next match was Charlotte versus Becky Lynch with a new entrance.
This is what I wanted.
Me too.
Thank you, for the love of God. Thank you. Man, Becky Lynch was on fire tonight. From the moment she hit the entrance ramp, the whole lights were going. You had the strobe effect. I was like, who the hell is coming to the ring?
Yeah.
Exactly like
Is she
that.
here? Ladies and gentlemen, Becky Lynch.
Oh, Becky, I'll see you later, honey.
She was too
sit
busy.
down.
She was too busy Snapchatting.
Oh, okay.
Oh, somebody
I should
thinks she got
probably-
into WWE with that sort of
feel-
habit.
Figured she'd tout it.
I don't think you can tout topless.
I mean, we don't know.
I don't. It's time to find out.
The opinions of the host on AfterBuzz TV do not directly. It is 100% true. Excellent. Like, we went from she was introduced and she was step dancing down the ramp to Irish music. Like, she's still built from Dublin, Ireland, and she's still wearing the green.
Same chick, only she's now actually as badass as she's supposed to be.
Very much so. The beginning of this match was stellar.
Oh my god, I couldn't even write it down. It was
No, me
that
either.
Good.
Me either.
Like, wow.
Like, once they got into the corner and the heavy leg lock from Charlotte, I went, okay, what just happened? We saw a really cool, I called it the chop hop, where Charlotte tried chopping down the leg. Becky jumped over it, tried going for an arm drag, reverse, leg over, flip over, to headlock,
Headlock
takeover, roll through.
Yep.
Like, just
It was
a spring kick from the bottom rope.
It was they were
exciting.
absolutely on top of their game tonight.
Very much so.
There were a lot of people last week who said Charlotte couldn't carry anybody. I think this absolutely proves it wrong. Last week was nobody's fault. Summer and Charlotte, they did a fantastic job, but they're too much alike to have a match this soon. Becky Lynch and Charlotte are perfectly opposed to one another. You can easily tell one another apart. And Becky Lynch, we saw a whole lot from her tonight that we've never seen before. We haven't had a chance to. She's been too busy dancing around. Tonight she cut the dancing and definitely got down to business.
Very much so. It doesn't, as much as I would like to see this evolve, it looks like from something later in the show that we might be getting something a little different.
Well, we'll have to
which is
see.
welcome. But Charlotte took control almost right away, was having none of that business. Locked in a leg lock right away. And
like a nice leg lock.
Very good.
A lot of offense to the knee, to the left knee, preparing for that figure four leg lock. She had a game plan. She
Very
came
much
in
so.
definitely with a plan and was executing it as close as she could.
And as fast as Becky Lynch is, you know you got to take her off her feet.
Yep.
So took her into the corner and just was repeatedly kneeing her quad thigh area.
Yeah.
Just mean, ow.
Just brutal.
Yeah, total brutal.
She's sending a message. She's sending a message to all the ladies. I'm on top. You better bring your A game when you're messing with me because I am the something in charge.
She's the dirtiest diva in the game, so she's the dirtiest diva in charge.
Genetically superior. She's actually proving that the further she goes along here.
Yeah, from what we see from second and third generation superstars, she is continuing that lineage of just being absolutely fantastic.
She's something else.
Very much so.
Man.
And she wins with a bow down from the Queen despite a really pretty leg drop. Can't speak. A very pretty leg drop from Becky.
But she even counters the leg drop.
Mm-hmm.
Becky drops the left leg, a mistake that Charlotte just is able
Right
to
away.
counter on and takes that leg away from her. It's smart. It's just smart.
Yeah, no, you can't teach that.
No, you can't.
It's genetics.
Well,
you can't
maybe you
teach that.
can. Maybe you can.
Maybe-
You have to wonder about what Rick's doing backstage.
What Rick or what Sarah Del Rey is doing backstage.
Well, I mean, yes, both.
Both.
That makes her doubly dangerous.
Exactly.
You got Sarah Del Rey and you got Ric Flair. The knowledge coming to her is as thick as molasses in the winter. My God, she could be the most dangerous diva of all time.
And only time will tell on that. She is currently enjoying a wonderful reign as the NXT Women's Champion. And from the looks of this, it's going to continue.
She's the queen.
She's the
you
queen.
better bow down.
Very good. We go backstage where Mojo Rawley is looking for a tag team partner. He's so hype. I don't care who it is. As long as he's hype, just like me, it can be anybody. And it really is anybody. Entering stage left, Bull Dempsey. Just upset. He's just so like, it had to be you. He's like, okay, just stop. I need a partner, and you need a partner, and as much as I don't want to do this, let's try it.
And if you mess this up, I'm going to take you down.
Yes.
Whoa! And the threats begin, and we haven't even had a match yet.
See, now we've been talking about it for a while in the tag team division. We want a tag team that's kind of at odds with each other, but forced to pair up. We've been saying it for different,
Yes.
like Tyler Breeze, CJ Parker.
It's team dysfunction. That's sort of what you want to see. It ends up being they bounce each other out. Now you see with Bull Dempsey and Mojo Rawley, they bounce each other. It's like having your sweet and your bitter together. They make it tolerable. Mojo Rawley is completely on one end of the spectrum, Bull Dempsey on the other, but together they may balance each other out enough to actually accomplish something here.
Which we will see later in the night, which surprised me.
Gets the Mojo Jojo reference on that one.
How could you not?
Oh my God!
Oh yeah,
yes,
definitely.
Yes.
I guess that's when we found out that it was her name was JoJo. Silly biscuit.
Oh, Mojo Jojo.
Okay.
Love it.
We go to the ring where the Ascension is coming down to the ring against the illustrious tag team of Steve Cutler and Mac Miles. We've seen
These guys look good.
They did.
I like them.
We've seen Cutler before. I don't remember who he was against. It was a singles match. It might have been Bull. It might have been Bull.
Could have been.
But a lot of shoulder business. Just
When you got them, use them, baby.
very much so. The Connor's double shoulder blocks to the tag,
both of them.
and then the tag shoulder block.
That was
If you want a demonstration of how heavy this tag team is, of how big, of how destructive, they're just throwing their weight into you and don't care.
no.
That's these guys in a nutshell.
And they keep like mixing it up. They're making it different every time. I'd never seen this sort of maneuver before. They ran over their opponents. Just my God. It was Cutler in the ring, wasn't it? Probably.
It was Cutler.
Man, that dude didn't stand a chance, and neither did his partner. There was not a tag made in this match.
And they do keep referencing that he is a former military man. I don't remember if it was a Marine.
Marine.
I think it was a Marine.
Yeah, Marine.
They keep referencing that and like.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Like, use it. Thank you for your service. But also, they keep referencing that as if to like give him an edge. And right now, he's only in kind of squash type things.
I don't think the Marines want anyone to know that he's a Marine.
Until
I don't think so.
Until he arrives with gimmick and or maybe with gimmick or repackaged to where he actually
maybe he can
has.
team with John Cena to make everybody vomit profusely.
But then it would take it down to like half a Marine because Cena was never actually a Marine.
Right. Never mind. Get me all riled up.
Well, I mean, speaking of getting riled up, mean shoulder clothesline from Connor, and they're both just standing over Cutler, and they're just waiting for him. Go ahead, make the tag, see what happens, and he starts crawling, and Victor makes the tag, runs in, knocks out Mac. And they do the Fall of Man, which looked real good tonight.
It'll look good.
Despite Ryan Whittleson's claim that the Fall of Man still isn't. It's still not very good.
You know what? You take it. Tell me how it feels, kitty cat.
But with the offense and how you've been mentioning that they've been switching up, with their offense now, the Fall of Man is a very, very fitting end.
Yes.
And
just yes. I don't even have another comeback.
No, I mean, this was a very good match for the Ascension, and it'll be very exciting to see anybody start to really feud with them. Really, like we got a tease of it with the former Lucha, and I think it will be sooner than later that the Ascension shows up on the main shows. They've been doing a lot of dark matches.
They've had their tag belts for 302 days, almost a year. If they can hang on just a little bit more, they will literally have a full year literally under their belt.
You're happy with that one?
Yes!
Okay. And if Bo Dallas...
Yeah!
If Bo Dallas is any indicator in terms of how long you hold your title before you lose it and get brought up, then probably we'll be seeing the Ascension before the end of the year. Hopefully.
Just have to see.
Very
it's
much.
a matter of time.
And it will be very awesome to see them against stellar tag teams like Tyson O'Neill and Heath Slater, Titus O'Neil.
How do you do that sound? Oh my god.
Seriously,
I
no,
can do that.
he's been doing it for years, and it still messes with
That
him.
is really too good.
Thank you.
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't worry. They pick up a microphone, and Victor. It's always one. They're the Ascension. Victor picks
Yes.
up the microphone and talks about how a tag team tournament won't mean anything to them. They've
What I
been just
noticed-
laying everybody to waste.
Victor sounds like Undertaker.
Kind of.
He's got the kind of badass raspy.
They're both
thing
like
going
failed
on.
clones of the Undertaker.
Together, they are one Undertaker.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody who is going to try to take the belts from us, you know what's coming. And hands the mic to Connor, and that's total annihilation. Oh! Made the crowd go flipping nuts, made me go flipping nuts. They're finally using that yaw thing in a perfect way. It's not super comedic. It's an acknowledgement, but it is taking what the crowd wants for you and gives to you,
Yes.
and acknowledging it and making it even bigger.
If they're going to chant for you, you may as well just make them chant for you.
Yeah, make it use.
Give it to them. And there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing more badass than an ass kicker with a pun handy, you know? He's got the brains, he's got the brawn.
Yeah, at least they're not doing that rat face thing anymore.
Yeah.
That was just silly. That's right. I was trying to remember the name of the tag team for Titus O'Neil and Heath Slater. Do you know that they actually have a name?
Do they?
Slater Gator.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. I
Watch
gotta admit.
AfterBuzz main event, and you'll watch it.
Do it.
Yeah, they're wonderful folks down there. We see them around. It's like a mini family reunion every month where we see them at the pay-per-view stuff.
Right.
Wonderful folk.
It's a revolving door thing.
Yeah. Next, when we come back from commercial, we see a CJ Parker package.
I almost missed it. I thought it was another commercial.
Yeah, no, me
I'm like,
too.
what is this, a littering commercial? Oh, it's CJ Parker.
No, once the voice came on, and we saw a bit of a recap of his feud. I guess ongoing feud now with Xavier Woods, or maybe it's just a show of domination. We don't know. It's just to remind us that this happened,
Or is happening.
or is happening. Who knows? I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks.
Right.
But
It's got to keep happening. We haven't had a blow off. Like, these two are not done. I haven't felt like we haven't had that thing where he goes, well, it's settled. One of them is superior. No. They still seem to have something to prove against one another.
maybe it'll finally come to a head in September.
Probably.
I don't know, but that's a long time, though.
It's a ways away.
And
We'll just have to wait and see.
That's a long time keeping Xavier down there at NXT. Like he's there for like a month or two, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And these last two sets were recorded very closely to each other, so it might end by the end of this month. We don't
Question
know.
is,
Somebody knows.
do they have anything for him on the main roster? If not, then sure, we are more than happy to
They
have
do.
him down here.
Did you see his recent stuff?
No.
So Kofi and Big E are a tag team.
Oh,
And they lost. I don't remember who they lost to, but Xavier Woods came out and was like, "What are you guys doing? You need to do better. You need to be better." So it looks like and then the next week, the tag team came out with Xavier Woods as their manager, and they won.
like a new nation of domination sort of deal?
That's what the rumors they might be building to.
That's honestly, I'm fine with that.
100%. No,
problem.
they could use another
Because
big
it's-
stable like that.
It's a new era. Mm-hmm. It's a new nation, and I think these guys actually would do really well with each other.
And they fit really well together. And
Yeah.
then you could possibly do the bleed over. Thank you, Ryan. Where you have the bleed over, where you have Woods sick Biggie on, and CJ has to go through all of the nation or something like that.
Or yeah, and then you have sort of like the Master Blaster thing going on.
Yeah. Also, Mad Max trailer. Watch it. Comic-Con.
That was cool.
Our next matchup features Mojo Rawley, who still doesn't know when to come out for his entrance. It's so weird. Or it's either that or the no, it's gotta be. I don't want to blame him, or I don't want to blame anybody, but it's just really weird.
just
The
doesn't
camera's
seem right.
really tight, and the mist is at full blast. The smoke is at full blast, and right when it starts to kind of peter out, that's when you see Mojo's little head just bop by, and he doesn't burst through. He goes to the other side.
Where are you going?
You see some? Is there hype over there? Where's there hype? Is there hype over there?
He's like Doug from Up. He just can't seem to concentrate.
Hype. It's so weird. and then the no nonsense, no bull entrance.
Yeah.
And we see the returning Scott Dawson and the brand spanking new Dash Wilder.
Well,
I'm one for wrestling names and wrestling gimmicks, but that is just so silly.
Dash. You better be fast with a name like Dash.
It reminds me of the kid from the Card Subject to Change, or there was some documentary. It might have been the True Life. I'm a professional wrestler, where some kid got packaged as like a delivery boy. It reminds me of something like that. Dash Wilder. No disrespect to the guy, his name is silly, but they debut as a new tag team called the Mechanics.
I'm fine with that.
I wish.
Although purple for Mechanics, you need a manlier color. It's such a
Purple's royal. It's regal.
They're Mechanics.
Yeah.
Unless
They don't want
they are
gray.
literally sponsored by Royal Purple, then no, there's no point to having that.
I mean, maybe there are specific garages here and there around the country. They might be from a particular one, but also there isn't really a purple presence in the tag team division, so it makes them stand out in a different way. Because you don't want to do like the dirty navy blue or the dirty gray, like the vests sell it.
Why not?
I think.
I mean,
Because I want
that's
to
just-
fight you.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
I love Dawson. Dawson's great, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to see him back on TV. Just Dash Wilder, I dug him. I dug the whole team. I'm just questioning the color scheme, which I'm sure is going to change next week. That's just how things work.
Mm-hmm.
But I am picky.
very much so. That's why you were on the Under the Gun AfterBuzz. We're
That's
just
right.
keeping it in the
I'm
family.
a fashion guy. I create all my own stuff. I've really got an eye for it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I will admit that the purple is an odd choice for the Mechanics, but in terms of tag teams down there, they don't have a purple.
Well, I'm trying to think now. I'm literally running through my head of all the different stuff, and I can think maybe Callisto, but I don't think Callisto ever had a purple. Maybe the
No, he's-
Legionnaires, but maybe they
No.
didn't have a purple.
They were white and then red, white, and blue for the French flag.
Right. Well,
Only wearing their colors.
it's different. That's fine though.
Yeah, and I wish we could have seen. Like, I honestly didn't know. At first, I didn't know how this match was going to go, because you could have it where there's they're butting heads immediately.
Right, you have the turmoil right off the bat, or they actually managed to get a win despite butting heads. It could have gone either way, and that's kind of why I like the matchup.
Exactly.
You didn't know what to expect at the end, so it kept you engaged the entire time.
Very much so, and having it was great. Again, it was great seeing Scott Dawson back, and great to see a new tag team. Hopefully, they stick around a little bit longer than just the tournament.
I think they will.
There's a Bull starts the match. We get a lockup between him and Dawson, and Mojo tags himself in, which is usually the heel thing to do.
Well, when you're
so hyped like that?
Mojo's just hyped. He's looking at you. It's like, oh, I'm so excited. I'm gonna come in the ring now. And Bull's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?
Stop.
Just slow down.
Popping that P. A lot of shoulder blocks. There's a lot of quick tags between the Mechanics. I just wish Dash Wilder was named Mike, so it could be Mike and the Mechanics, but that's just me.
That would have been good.
Mojo throws, I think it was Wilder at this point. It's the purple into the corner, though one's bald, one's not, and starts going into hyperdrive. He hits the two corner splashes, or he hits one corner splash, and as he's going around to hit the second one, Bull tags in. We get the second splash, and then either a little bit of confusion on the commentary staff, or they just don't know what it is yet. Somebody said that he hits the throwback, which was his finishing move, and then later Phillips called it the bulldozer, which is what we've come to know it by.
Right. I think we just had a little bit of confusion. It's the bulldozer.
It's the bulldozer.
Why would you hit a throwback?
You hit the throwback.
You hit a bulldozer.
The throwback. No, a bulldozer hits you.
Whoa.
And we ain't even in Soviet
Whoa.
Russia. The throwback reference to how kind of an old ground and pound style that he is.
And that's, yes, but it's a bulldozer.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's a bulldozer. That one fits much better. Backstage, we see Bailey getting asked by Rich Brennan, about the BFFs. What do you think about the BFFs breaking up? And she was happy about it because
Good.
they were mean to her.
They were.
And she talks about how she beat Charlotte and how great it would be if she could beat Charlotte for the title, because she already has one win under her belt. But then Charlotte comes down and is like, "Don't even say my name. it's really like because she went out there. There was a pause, and then she said something, and then there was a pause again, and then she left, and then Bayley was just like, "What?" But knowing Bayley, I wish she would there would have been the pause, and as she was walking away, just go Charlotte, 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 like she does. That would have been awesome. That would have been
great.
super Bayley.
What is this, like fourth grade? What are you doing?
Exactly. No, exactly. That's Bayley. We get our main event. Adam Rose comes out with the NXT version of the Exotic Express. And
Classic Exotic Express.
Yes, Express Classic. And Kid comes out with Natty. A little, not too surprising. They both seem happy. They're out smiling. That actually was that exact kind of smile to me. That we're here, we're in public, we should be smiling.
That was more Natty. Tyler was focused. Kid was focused.
It happens.
It happens.
TJ.
There's too many. Right in my head. Oh man.
Too many T's.
Too many T's. I'm bad with names. Face is great. Names terrible.
Rose gets an arm lock on Kid and Kid tries to go for a weird escape, like tying himself up.
And he just ends up in a front face lock and gets spanked. Like,
sure.
You cannot wrestle Rose like that. It's impossible. He's just too weird. Mm-hmm. You don't ever think he's going to go for what he goes for, and then you're in it and you go, damn it, I've been humiliated.
And we kind of saw an old school Leo Kruger-esque style from Rose.
And I liked that.
Very much so.
I've actually, overall for this match, I think this was the best match that Adam Rose could have to showcase himself.
Agreed.
Because you need that sharpness. You need the edge of the aggression. You need that, especially when it's a silly character. Because you ask yourself, how can this guy possibly win? He's just too silly. But when you have the aggression mixed with the sort of offbeat character, I think that it makes the most sense.
With Adam Rose's character, you see a lot of the faffing. It's what I call it. He's faffing about, really.
It is.
And we've only got a bit of it tonight because the turning point in the match to cue his aggression happens so early because he goes out and he offers
this was like I was like, whoa.
No, you want symbolism. Offers Natty a lollipop.
And she accepts.
Smiling.
She puts his lolly in her mouth.
And then
on
Kid,
TV in front of children.
Hey, this is a paid service. You can get away with more things than you'd think. Kid grabs it from her, throws it to the ground, and Rose comes down and puts him on his shoulders and sort of does just a toss onto the apron, which was just, he was very light tonight, despite being aggressive, like on the receiving end and on the giving end. He was very light, like bouncy, sort of like his character. It was a weird sort of subtext that he was giving to his offense.
His moves are always they're never tremendously, I don't know, dark or devious or anything like that. They're just a little offbeat. He'll catch you with something weird, and all of a sudden your face is bouncing off the apron.
And then you'll catch him, and then you'll just have a staring match for a little while.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Baseball slide takes us to the commercial. We come back, and Kids comes back onto the offensive, gives a pretty mean clothesline. And this was the first really light on his feet sort of thing. It was a clothesline to the outside, but Rose flipping flew. Just whoop, like almost he went 45 degrees and then just straight up and over. It was weird, but it was like, wow, dude, you really took the jump on that one. Tossed him into the post a couple of times where he just bounced off like a...
Ate it. He looked like he ate that post with his... I don't know how... Oh, man, it looked brutal. Just either the angle or the fact that he just took it.
Oh, God, I hope not. A gross choke on the bottom rope from Tyson Kidd. We saw a long sleeper from Kidd to a sleeper from Adam Rose, and then a jawbreaker, which sends Rose back out to the outside. And here's when... the chat has been asking us to mention it ever since we started talking about the match. My new favorite chant. It goes from Natty's husband to Natty's wife.
Ooh,
you didn't hear it?
No.
You didn't hear it? It was amazing. Natty's. I was like, what are they saying? Oh, they're saying Natty's wife. It was and Tyson chicken and all the basic stuff.
That was a matter of time for that Natty's wife.
Good. It was so good. But it was still nice to see, despite the little tiff in the beginning, that Natty was still pulling for Tyson. Like, she was trying to get people to start chanting for Tyson Kid and beating on the rope like a manager would.
She has to be. She has to be. She's very much the Miss Elizabeth to his Macho Man.
Very much so.
Very much so. And she's very likable, whereas he isn't always as likable. But
some would say that's his saving grace.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Though I'm sure Rose was looking for his saving grace because he gets put in a tree of woe, nasty headlock, and a nasty kick.
It just keeps... And Tyson
tugging
was
back
pulling
on
that head, man, just like... tweaking it. And when you pull on the head like that, it affects the knee. You don't think about it, but your knee is caught up in that. It has no place to go and gets pulled almost out of place.
It was a single leg tree of woe too, because Rose is a big dude.
Yeah, he's not a little guy.
So you can't get both legs under there. So he was lucky to even get him down there with one.
Yeah.
We see Rose go for the Exotic Express clothesline, since that doesn't really have a name. Let's just call it what it is, the hobo train.
Sort of. He doesn't do the stomping like I do, but I hope he doesn't start.
No, the Exotic Express, I mean, it's a train, but it's a bus.
Choo choo!
Anyway.
Stop stealing my gimmick.
That goes to two of you. Spinebuster, and he tries to go for a party foul, dodge, into the figure four.
Well, no, he tried
to
go for maybe a Boston, maybe a sharpshooter,
but I mean,
he just couldn't do it. Adam Rose was flailing around. He fights to the ropes, grabs the ropes before the ref's able to break it. Boom! Catches him with the slingshot on that rope.
Yeah, and gross. And no matter what you could do, I mean, it seemed like both had each other's number. This was a very, like you said, this was Adam Rose's best match. This is one of the best matches we've seen on NXT. Without Adrian Neville in it, without Sami Zayn in it.
Yeah.
Like, this proves how good Tyson Kidd is as a performer and as a villain, because with all of his matches, you see the arc in each match of him starting from, okay, time to come out and have a match. Nice and calm, chill out, and then he reaches that point where he just gets so vicious and almost can't come back from it. And then you see the effect. Natty helps amplify that even more. And with a carefree character like Adam Rose, you kind of see an extreme of that. So if you're interested, or if you have friends who are interested in storytelling in a physical medium, if they're not wrestling fans, this is one to put on a playlist of stuff to show friends who aren't wrestling fans.
And Adam Rose, again, is exactly the same way. Adam Rose comes out and says, I want to have some fun. And then he reaches that point to where, I'm done having fun. It's time to put on the ass-kicking boots. And he does just that. He gets real serious and starts to look for that win. And it is what you want to see. This was a classic mashup of opposing styles. I think even commentary mentioned it tonight. They didn't see the Tyson Kidd that you classically do going to the air. He was very ground and pound tonight. Very punishing tonight.
With somebody as light on his feet as Rose, even though he doesn't go to the top rope very often or off his feet very often, you gotta do something to further establish that dominance. Like, Kidd could have taken the easy way out, but he didn't. He went the hard way and showed way too much force. Showed a lot of force and made sure that he tried to pound Rose into the ground as much as possible.
He's trying to send a message. I'm not messing around. I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to hurt people. That's what he was trying to say.
Very much so. Kidd goes to talk to Nat in the corner, gets rolled up, and Rose gets the win.
Oh man!
And the show ends with just bitterness.
yeah, pretty much disdained.
Yeah, it was a kind of a sad end. It was a similar end to what we see on most segments with Kidd and Natty.
Kidd was pretty upset. Natty goes in to try and console him, and he pushes her away, sort of emotionally, somewhat literally. He just does. He's like, I can't handle it. He just can't operate as a team, and she's there to be a team player, and he's just like, I'm alone out here. He thinks he's alone, except for when she's irritating him. That's the only time when she is actually present in his mind is when she is pissing him off in some way or another.
And that's no way to have a marriage.
You can't operate like that.
No, it can't be healthy. And almost just as hot as NXT starts, it ends on such a kind of down note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you wonder what the heck is going to happen next week.
Really do wonder what's going to happen next.
Storyline keeps you intrigued.
Very much so.
Just continues keeping you engaged.
Much like
in.
NXT is on every week, we are on every week. So make sure to tune in on iTunes. Leave us a rating on iTunes. If you're watching us live, keep watching us live. And if you don't know we're live, we're live.
We're live now.
So
we're at 8 o'clock from now on.
And you can also catch us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment. We're in the comments every week. And but where can the folks find you, Hobo?
I'm on Twitter at TrueHobo, ProWrestlingTees.com/Hobo. Buy a shirt because I need to eat and drink, and everybody has more fun when I drink.
Sure, let's go with that. You could find me on Twitter at SoapboxMark. On YouTube, you can find the two of us at SoapboxCarTV. You can find us on Facebook at SoapboxCarTV. Buy a shirt from him at ProWrestlingTees.com/Hobo. And you can find me next, I guess, on Ruby in 2 weeks, which is going to be fun. I'm going to be joining that cast. I'm wearing a Ruby shirt just to kind of help my case. And you can follow all of us here at Twitter.com/AfterBuzzTV. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.